Hey guys, welcome back here to another vendor voice that we're going to do here today. When I looked at my calendar and I seen this appointment, I said, "Oh yeah, this is the one that's going to be fun." And the reason why is because today we've got AJ on with Broccoli AI, and AI, by the way, in the industry seems to be like one of those moving targets. Should we love it? Should we hate it? We don't know how to feel about it. But today we're going to dive in a little bit on AI, specifically with Broccoli AI. AJ, how are you doing today, my friend?
I am doing great. Thank you so much, Chris, for having me. Very excited to chat a bit more about all the problems in the world and how AI can solve every single one of them.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm really excited to talk about AI specifically because I know contractors could have mixed emotions about it. Maybe tell me a little bit about your experience with AI and let's kind of get that on the table.
Yeah, I think from my point of view, I really think that AI has helped me get better at my job personally. I'm a first-time founder. I have no experience on how to build a sales team or how to market a company, but I've used AI to learn and get better personally. It has not just helped me with writing better emails, but also becoming a better person. So I feel this is how I would treat AI. If it helps you get better, then I would trust it. It's not because somebody else posted on the internet saying that you should use AI or you'll get left behind. I wouldn't buy into that. People are trying to monetize and make quick money by creating this fear. But if you think AI is helping you get better personally or professionally or helping your business, I would consider taking a look and seeing how you can incorporate that. So that is my take on AI. You should judge the AI by first principles. Like, does it help me get better? Does it help me save money? Does it make my systems more efficient? If the answer is yes, only then you you try to evaluate a company that you would want to partner with. But otherwise, it's just a tool at the end of the day. Your business is still going to be made by your technicians and your customer service. The AI is just a tool that will enable you to do your job better.
Well said with that. And for those that are watching or listening, he said something very powerful that I want you to hear, which is a lot of people are trying to monetize it. So they're telling you either use AI or get left behind. And that's more of a scarcity mindset play. AJ, based on I just heard you say, which is, hey, this is a first time founding company and I use AI to help me get better and help my business get better. But Broccoli AI is an actual AI company that's leveraging AI technology as a service. But before we get into that, I want to kind of just talk about your experience in relation to AI when you say it helps me become a better person, because I think that most people fear it because they don't understand it. So, what are some things maybe that you do and use AI for personally for in your business?
Yeah, I can't get started. Like it's a long list. I don't know where to start. But honestly, as I mentioned, like first it'll definitely help you get better at just researching about a new topic.
Mm.
Where instead of spending a few hours or a few weeks reading 20 articles and then figuring out only 10% of that information matters, the 95% was not so useful. It cuts your time to get to things that matter. And the best thing is that AI is personalized. So it knows a little bit more about me. Uh, it'll help me learn something at my own speed. So those are some things that I use AI for. And the second thing is my email editor is all AI, so it'll automatically add tags. It'll draft replies for me, even though I still review every email. But email was one of the biggest things for me personally. I used to get like over 100 emails per day. So email is one. And yeah, always more like in terms of creating graphics. We don't have a marketer in the company, so writing articles. There's just so much more that we use AI. And another fun fact is 60% of the code that we've written at Broccoli is written by AI. So we are still a pretty small team in terms of engineering. We just have 5 engineers. but we built the product so quickly because of AI. So that
Mhm.
like every dimension in the business is using AI.
Yeah. This is interesting because I heard somebody say this one time that most people that are afraid that AI is going to take their jobs or take jobs away, and somebody reframed that the other day, and it's so well articulated. They said AI is not going to replace people. AI is only going to replace people that do not embrace AI. Right? In other words, it just becomes the way of life, just like the www dot, just like, I've got one of these in my pocket right now, and people live in a world where go back 35, 40 years ago, and people would have never imagined that their life would revolve around a cell phone. And yet here we are today. It's because it's new, it can be scary. You said research. So for contractors watching, think about some of the research that you're wanting to do when you can cut down research time, get a high level understanding of what's going on. AI is not just automation. It's not just automation. It has many more functions. And in many cases, I heard you say this, that we don't have a lot of developers counting on a lot of AI. I know people that their sentiment is, but hang on, wait. I went to college to learn how to do this job, and now a computer does it better than me and faster than me. And we see that it actually starts to hurt people's ego and, more importantly, their confidence in the workplace. How have you guys been able to manage and deal through that as you guys are building and scaling a company?
Yeah, we're still looking for more engineers. So it's not like if you have AI, you don't need more people. We still need like great people to use AI to supplement their work. So I wouldn't consider AI being able to develop what Broccoli has created. You still need great people behind the AI.
Mm.
So anybody who's out of college or trying to find a entry level job, yes, AI will take away some basic jobs. For example, Broccoli is trying to automate the phones. It does not mean that a young like person who wants to just get started wouldn't have these new entry level jobs. Like there are going to be new entry level jobs that are going to be created because of AI. And maybe you wouldn't want to do the repetitive, boring work, but it's going to be much more creative. And that is what a person should focus on. So initially, yes, it feels scary coming out of college saying that, oh, what'll happen now? Like if AI can do the basic entry level jobs that were a stepping stone for us to get better. Even today, we still hire juniors. We have junior engineers. We have junior salespeople because their learning time has gone from like 2 years to maybe 6 months because
Mm.
they ramp up so quickly with AI. So yeah, I don't have a solid answer around like uh, what's the advice to young people, but I wouldn't be very scared. I would embrace AI. Even in college, I would use and explore how can we use AI to get better at things and also use AI to do things that were not possible previously. Like Broccoli did something that was not possible 14 months ago. So it unlocked a new opportunity for us.
Yeah, and that's interesting that you bring that up. I was just having a conversation with my son over the weekend about school and the leverage of AI in the school systems. And this is what really just blows me away. Here's the thing. I see both sides of the coin. I see the side of the coin where he says, "Oh, if you get caught using AI, you automatically get a zero." And I thought to myself, well, that's weird because when they become adults and they get into the workplace, the work world is going to be like, you need to use AI. And all this time they've been trained to not use it, and then all of a sudden they are using it. And so I think probably some of our teaching and practices will have to catch up to it to leverage it truly as. And I can speak for myself. We use quite a bit of AI in our business today, and I consider it like an extension of my team, right? The agents that do whatever set task that we have, all I'm doing is I'm giving myself more time. I'm giving myself better resources. And for me, it's creating a better quality business, in my opinion. Well, let's talk a little bit about broccoli now. We talked AI, get that conversation off the table. Um, Before we talk about what AI actually is, let's talk about pain points for a minute for contractors. When you see contractors that are struggling with day-to-day operations related to their phones and customer service, what are your pain points that you typically see, or is there a theme that you catch?
Yeah, I think the number one problem that has plagued our industry over the last 20 years are it's not the best experience when you're talking to an answering service after hours. There's long wait times. They don't follow your scripts. They don't represent your brand. And you've put in so much effort to coach your CSRs. There are weekly training sessions because it's not a simple or a trivial job. You need to offer empathy. You need to understand the customer's problem so that you can prioritize that issue and dispatch the right technician to that job. So the answering service was never a solution to solve that problem. You can't hire in-house CSRs over the weekends and after hours because the economics don't make sense. So we were using answering services. And if you talk to any contractor and ask them, how is your answering service? And they'll say they love it. And it's the best thing that has ever happened to them. Sorry, I'm being sarcastic, but like they'll tell us that, yeah, it's less worse than the previous one. This is what we've been hearing day in and day out. And that was the only reason why we started Broccoli, where we thought the AI of today is a 10x better alternative than an answering service. We still don't go in and say that get rid of your call center and replace your CSRs. A great CSR is still way better than the AI. So the AI is just a replacement to an answering service and a great backup to your team so that you don't miss any opportunity. Even during office hours, when there's a spike in the number of calls, the AI can be a catch-all solution for anything that comes through the door. And we've built a solution that is personalized to each business, that follows their script, that follows their policies. And our goal is to democratize access to great customer service. So no matter the size of the contractor's business, it's hard to find great talent nowadays. The attrition, the turnover is pretty high. You need to put in effort and money into training a CSR. So not every company can afford that.
Mm.
So what if you create an AI that offers the best customer service out of the box? So for a contractor, you don't need to think about how am I going to scale my customer service if I want to scale my business. They can focus on what they do best, which is taking care of the customer, make sure the technicians are great, but we can take care of the customer service and give every end user, end customer as well, the same experience consistently, no matter what company size they're calling.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that their experiences, well, they're better than the last, right? You say
Yeah.
that. During my time as an owner, we took the after hours and weekends so serious that we kept it all in house. It's not only is it more expensive, number one, number two, finding the right team members that are willing to do that. Because when we look, it's like AI never calls in sick. It's never late, right? It never has anything going on at home that it's got to go home for. It never needs to take a lunch break, right? So all these things. And so during my time of operation, obviously AI call centers were not a thing. And that's why I did everything in house myself. It was only a handful of people that would do it for me, right? Not everybody wants that 24-hour phone tied to your hip all the time. So, well, let's dive in and let's talk about the actual concept of Broccoli AI and tell me a little bit how you feel how your company helps the day-to-day operator compared to answering services or hiring more in-house CSRs. How does the solution actually work that way?
Yeah, so what we do is we have an inbound AI CSR that'll take care of all calls after hours over the weekend and also overflow. And then we've also expanded to do much more, where you can use Broccoli to also respond to leads that like speed to lead. You get leads from Google LSA, Yelp, Angi. Broccoli can make an outbound phone call as soon as you get this lead. Then we do tons of outbounding for our customers where you need to schedule these reoccurring services. So instead of letting the customer come to you, and most likely they'll forget, but it's more like an obligation that you want to fulfill. You want to make sure they have those two free service per year. Broccoli can proactively call these customers that have a reoccurring service due and book the job. You can use us to follow up on open estimates. Wherever you see an opportunity where if I would have a team of 100 CSRs, I would do all of this, but you have 10 CSRs, Broccoli can help you scale your operations in that sense. So we're more like an all-in-one lead management platform. So every lead across every channel, Broccoli wants to take care of that. Every digital lead, phones, SMS. So this is what we are trying to do. It's still a long way where we claim that yes, we can take care of 100% of the phone calls or every lead, but for now we are more like a backup to their existing call center, so that we augment them. And maybe you don't need to hire more CSRs. You can still scale the business with your current team and AI as a backup.
Yeah, hear that, which is AI is complementary to your existing business, not a replacement to other people in the business. From what you do see though, AJ, how does improving phone performance with AI impact a contractor's bottom line?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what we've seen is we've consistently seen the revenue, the conversion go up by at least 22%. So any lead that was coming after hours, overflow, weekends, or digital leads as well, Broccoli will help you book 22% more leads compared to your previous solutions. And in terms of your overhead spend, we see around 1 to 2% decrease in the first 6 months, where you might not need to hire that extra person to respond to digital leads, or somebody who you hire during the peak summer season as a backup. Broccoli can help you flatten that curve with your current existing stuff.
And AJ, forgive me, does it book straight into their CRM or is it just take a message for someone and then that process still takes place?
We directly book jobs in their CRM like ServiceTitan, and Broccoli also doubles down as a dispatcher for after hours, where if there's an emergency service that was scheduled or booked, the AI will not just book the job on the on-call technician in, let's say, ServiceTitan, but it will also call them to notify them that a new service was booked so that they can dispatch themselves. And that closes the loop. We'll also include the manager, so you don't need to worry about Jonathan being asleep on a Sunday evening. But yeah, so we try to close the loop end to end. And yeah, so it's not just taking a message and sending an email, but actually booking a service.
Yeah, this is that pain point where, most contractors have the after hours, the weekend stuff is the biggest pain point. I know people are probably thinking like, how do we get technicians to be AI replaced where they'll run the calls after hours for us? So we're a long ways away from that. I don't know that we're there yet, but certainly the inner workings and the back end of that very sounds complicated, but you make it sound so easy. I mean, I suppose that this has been a lot of time and effort and energy building this out. What's been the experience for most people that has switched over versus what they've said they used to experience versus what they get today when they use broccoli?
Yeah. And I would also like bring this point where I personally feel that there are regions, there are markets where the AI is not the best solution. So I wouldn't say that, yes, use AI and magically everything will be solved. With time, we've also gotten better at identifying who is a great fit for the AI, because maybe because the AI is getting better. Maybe in the next 6 months, that would be the best time for a business to adopt AI. So the companies that we work with, 100% of them have replaced their answering service with Broccoli. So all after hours overflow calls are taken care of with Broccoli. And sorry, I forgot the question. Like, was
Oh,
it
just
back on the bottom?
the full experience. Like, what has been the feedback that you're getting
Yeah.
of the hey, I used to do this, but now I do this. What's their feedback typically from that?
Yeah. We've consistently seen customers tell us that we never got so many jobs booked over the weekends. We thought people don't call us because there was no visibility with the answering service, where they had no idea they were dropping 70% of the leads. Your Broccoli, even if we book, let's say at 70 or 80%, we'll still notify them that if there was a job that was not booked by the AI, we'll send them a text message so that there is an opportunity for the on-call person to call back the customer. So even if the AI is not able to book every job, there is now visibility for the first time into your call center operations, where you can come in and say, okay, that was the issue why the AI couldn't book the job, and you can always catch that lead. So that is the number one like feedback that we get, that we never saw those many jobs booked after hours and over the weekend. So
And I'm really, really curious, what is your and obviously this is a matter of opinion. I'll encourage anybody to do a demo to find out, but what's your opinion of how well it is at overcoming objections?
Yeah, so we've spent a lot of time to make sure the AI is not just a glorified IVR where it's just taking down information, but it's more like a great CSR where there are all going to be objections. People want pricing over the phone, they don't want to pay the dispatch fee. So we've put in all the best practices into the AI already. If they want a sooner slot, we bring in an urgency list or a rapid repair list saying that, okay, let me put you on the schedule for tomorrow, but if something opens up sooner, we'll send like our dispatchers will call you back. So the best practices are baked in, and I would encourage you to call the AI directly. So anyone can go to the Broccoli website, which is just broccoli.com, and on the live demo you can put in your details and the AI will call you so you can experience it firsthand and see how it sounds. Are there those weird pauses that we've been used to, or is it much more human like?
Oh, wow, that's so cool. And I've heard people say this often. And I'm not really sure how you guys work on the back end, but there's the standard LLMs that people are going to have that are tied into AI. I'm assuming there's a lot of customization that you guys have had to use to really educate and train the LLM so that it can have a very uh, productive conversation with a client. And then more importantly, the customer that throws the curveball, right? Most CSRs don't know how to handle and I hear, listen to hundreds of phone calls, if not thousands in my career through some of what I consider to be some of the best CSRs I've ever seen. And you can still see them get tripped up sometimes. How do you feel like your AI does against that?
Yeah, it's for sure a learning curve. But at the end of the day, it's a bot, and it does not like it'll not fumble if the customer is aggressive. It'll always keep its cool and it'll be calm and composed. So yeah, for sure, it does not have the warmth of a human, but it also does not have the negative traits
Uh,
that we have of uh I lost, like I had two bad calls, and that would affect my third call. The AI wouldn't see that. And therefore, we've seen the AI hold its ground when customers are disgruntled. And we've seen calls that were like 12 minutes long, where this customer is just firing bullets. And the AI is like, I'm so sorry, Jonathan, and just trying to calm down the customer. So in those cases, it's much, much better than a human for sure.
Oh, for the fact that it has no point of reference for emotion. That's what I was in a training class with some AI, and he said, and I don't recommend this because you never know what happens in the future. They do have a good memory bank. He said, I cuss at my AI all the time, and I cuss at it to tell it to what it needs to do. He said, because that's just how I talk. He uses everything is all text, it's not type, right? And I said, eventually that thing is going to get smart enough that it knows who you are. And it's going to be,
It'll come
remember
back.
back in my earlier days when you were training me, you cussed at me so much. Man, just technology. It's one of those things where, technology can be scary, I think, for some contractors. What exactly is going to happen to my business? What exactly happens to my reputation? What do people find out? What do you feel like is the sediment now as it relates to, I'm going to call adoption or acceptance of AI as being knowing that I'm calling in and I'm talking. Do you guys recommend that it announces that it's an AI bot, or what's best practices around that for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's a learning curve for all of us, like the consumer as well, because you are also a consumer, even though you are a contractor. Or how would you react to this company using AI? And it's a very personal question for every business. So, and there's also a downside where if you say it's an AI, as a customer, I will assume it's robotic, dumb, and slow.
Mm.
That's the experience all like airlines have given us. You call United.
Uh,
So there's a thin line, like how do you do this?
yeah.
So I don't have a very strong opinion. We give like we allow our customers to choose whatever they feel comfortable. A/B test, use this and then use this, or have a IVR recording that says that we have a digital assistant, and then the AI can just converse as a normal person. We want to make this conversation more human-like. We don't want the end customer to say yes, no, and not share what the issue is. So there's a thin line. Yes, morally, you should announce it's an AI, and I'm a big proponent of that. But then the customer does not, because even I will not have that confidence as soon as I hear it's an AI, because I don't know how good their AI bot is.
Mm.
So I'm not going to waste my energy in explaining them everything that's been going on with my issue. So it's a thin line. It again depends on each business. And yeah, let's experiment. We can A/B test. So maybe in the next 12 months, when there is more education and customers are 101% okay with AI, or they're asking for an AI. Oh, don't you have an AI bot? It's much more efficient. Yeah, we just use AI.
Yeah, it's I'm looking at the date here in 2025, and I'm just curious I mean, AJ, I'm throwing you a curveball. What do you think's on the horizon for AI specifically in your area, what you guys do? What do you think's on the horizon, say in the next 24 to 36 months?
Yeah. So Broccoli's mission from day one was to automate the trades, never to build an AI call center and just be a AI call center. So what will happen now is we care a lot about the customer experience and about the contractor as well. So what happens if today somebody calls you and says that, yes, I want to schedule this tune up, and says that, I also have a water heater issue, but we don't have the budget right now, so we might look into this after 6 months. In this case, would a CSR make a note saying that we need to call back this customer after 6 months to schedule this because there was such a strong interest? No, it's not possible. You drop the ball in like so many places. But imagine there is an AI agent that found this intent, calls the customer one day before after 6 months, saying that, hi Jonathan, how was the tune up? Was everything perfect? Great. I also saw that you had some interest in the water heater, and help them get that scheduled. It helps the customer get the help they wanted without having that cognitive load of remembering this. It
Mm.
shows the customer that you care, and it helps you make so much more money without spending more money on advertisement and getting more leads if you can take care of your existing customers. So that is Broccoli's goal, is to create such a beautiful experience where no information is lost. The customer gets the help they want proactively and not reactively. And we help the contractor get less stressed about managing everything. It's so hard. Like we are building out our sales team as well right now, and it's hard. Like managing two reps is hard. I get calls saying that I did not have a great experience. So I was like, okay, now I need to do quality assurance for my sales rep as well. We were doing quality assurance for CSR. So there are problems while you scale the business, and Broccoli wants to be that support system for contractors across every dimension, not just the call center, but dispatch. Also, we care about the technician. So you'll see Broccoli do much more in the next few months. And in the next 24 months, we imagine there is like, I don't know how the world is going to be after 24 months, but I think it's going to be very different. And Broccoli's goal is to make sure we use this transformative technology and try to solve an actual business problem for contractors.
Yeah, yeah, wow. This is someone also mentioned to me, was in another conversation with them, and they said, what's so amazing about the technology of AI is it's changing at such a rapid pace that people can't even write books about it right now, because by the time the book is written and published, it's already outdated. That's
Yeah,
how fast it's moving. And so, and I'm going to say this, contractor to contractor, this is a very scary time if you don't embrace, right? And when I say embrace, I didn't say adopt, I said embrace. It's not going away. It's not going anywhere. You're not going to eliminate it and get rid of it. There is also the human component, AJ, and this is where, where you said things like emotion, feeling, compassion. It allows human beings to become more human, if that makes sense. Where
yeah,
today, when I look at a business, sometimes we are so, the CSR that's like, I didn't want to follow the script. I wanted to say it this way. I wanted to do it this way. And you're getting zero pushback. Those are the types of people that I say, once again, that either you're going to use it or you're going to get replaced by someone that does use it. And so imagine a call center manager that has 50 agents that work for them and none of them are people. And so now I could have a manager title and I'm managing agents, right? So I think that there's this, there's the moment of skepticism, there's the moment of fear, but I think if we really leaned into it, there's a level of excitement of
yeah.
of all of the dumb things that we have to deal with as contractors that we deal with on a daily basis. What if you could eliminate the dumb stuff and actually start doing the stuff you really enjoy, and more importantly, the things you're great at, right? As a contractor. So embracing that. If a contractor is already investing, say in coaching and they're building their team, how can AI assistants complement that? Not replace, but complement them that
Yeah.
helps them scale faster.
Yeah, we also have another feature or product called Quality Assurance AI that will basically help them coach their CSRs, reclassify calls if they were not dispositioned the right way. So there is a solution to augment and make sure your current team also gets the help they need to get better at their job. So yes, even if you don't use AI across every dimension, you can use AI to help your team. So not just AI to respond to a call, but you can use AI to coach your CSRs as well. That's
Wow.
definitely, yeah,
So once again, it's the things that as a business owner, maybe I don't like doing that, but maybe I love doing that. So I'm going to keep doing it if I love it. But what you said is it helps me, very opening statement, it helps me become a better person, right? Which is if I don't like coaching CSRs, great. Now I've got an option that it
yeah.
will take care of it for me. But if I do like coaching CSRs, then I can still do that. And the great news is it's still a choice, right? It's not just a part in saying, hey, this is the only way a business operates. AJ, today has been phenomenal, man. Man, I'm so grateful for this opportunity to talk about such a hot topic in our industry right now. Um, is there anything else that you feel like maybe we haven't covered that you feel like would be pretty valuable for folks watching this, listening?
I think we pretty much covered everything. Like it was very comprehensive. And I think the biggest takeaway, again, is the last point that you brought up. And the first point that I brought up is AI should make you feel better about yourself and the business. If you don't see that value, maybe it's not the best time to use that technology just because everyone around you is using it. Because I'm so confident that this technology, if you embrace it, you're going to see the results immediately.
Mm,
You see how good this technology is. And therefore, there is no need for people like us to convince anyone. Because
mm,
if service is helping you and you are a smart and honest person, you're going to embrace that. Like, why would you need me to come in and tell you that use AI and this is the impact? Yes, my job is to tell you that why broccoli is different and how we can transform this. But all our customers are AI first. We don't convince anyone to like, oh no, you need to use AI. Don't like we'll always help you understand the pros and cons. But all our customers are like, let's go, let's use AI and then looking out for the solution. So we see there is a huge demand. We are seeing a strong market pull. So therefore, like, there's no rush. If you feel you need more time, you want to like see how this performs, you should take your time. There's no rush. We are always here. So whenever you need us, we are just a
man.
call away.
AJ, thank you so much for your time today, my friend. It's always a pleasure. I love being around people that I've made a commitment to myself in my life that I like to try to get in rooms where I'm not the smartest person, right? I love to learn and I love being around those that are just far more educated around these kind of topics. And I know contractors certainly appreciate this and your time that you've shared here with us today. For those that are our blue collar members, remember that membership has its privileges, and I didn't rip that off. Obviously, membership does have its privileges, especially with blue collar. And to do that, what I want you to do is, if you're interested in knowing more about Broccoli AI, contact AJ and his team. Inside of the blue collar vault, you're going to notice on the left hand side there is a section called Blue Collar Elite Buy. That is our buying group for the Blue Collar Success Group. You can reach out to them. There's some special privileges that you're going to get with Broccoli AI, and AJ, his team. His contact information, all those special privileges are located there. If you're not a part of the Blue Collar Success Group, but you still would be interested in talking to somebody over at Broccoli, AJ, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you and your team?
Yeah, they can directly reach out to me at simply aj@broccoli.com.
Okay, great. AJ at broccoli.com. That's the best way to reach out. AJ, thank you so much. But listen, man, we can't wrap this thing up with not doing one of my favorite parts. This one's been fun, by the way. We're going to do what we call the fun facts finale. For me, this is an opportunity to get to know a little bit more about AJ, let our audience know a little bit about you. I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions and let you fire away. Quick question right out of the gate. If you got to choose between a Bronco, a Jeep, or a Cybertruck, which one are you picking?
Cybertruck. I've
Okay,
driven all of them. I'm going to choose the Cybertruck.
A Cybertruck all day long. If you could have dinner with any fictional character, who would it be and why?
That's a good question. I'm trying to recollect because I've not seen literally anything, but just based on how the AI world is developing, maybe talk to Iron Man.
Okay, all right, I got that.
Get a
Which, by
part.
the way, was a technology guy for sure. This one's gonna be good. What's the weirdest food that you've ever eaten?
Just how, like what we were discussing at the start of the call, fried tomatoes in Georgia.
Oh, fried green tomatoes. All my Georgia folks from the South. And by the way, I did give them a
But
little
it
tip.
tasted amazingly well. So
Yeah.
weird at the start, but amazing at the end.
If you could master any skill or hobby instantly, what would it be?
Reading people's mind. I think that would be a pretty good skill. If somebody gives it to me, I would love to have that.
Okay, great. And then lastly, what's the most random thing on your bucket list?
What's the most random thing? I just want like I'm always tired, so yeah, I like my vacation is where I get to sleep 16 hours a day. So I don't know if I'll ever get the opportunity because people around me would hate that. So I don't know. It's weird, but I would love to do that where somebody is willing. I wouldn't do that alone. So I want somebody to be with me, but will be okay just speaking for 2 hours a day and allowing me to rest. So that's
Ah,
my kind of ideal dream vacation. I don't
and
know.
And
Yeah.
it's such a fast-paced world, right? Taking the time to relax and unwind and get some good sleep. Speaking of that, I'm gonna shift gears a little bit. Everybody probably knows a little bit about these guys right here, the Aura Ring. My sleep score for the past 4 or 5 days has been awful, and I'm usually a really, really good sleeper. And for me, I woke up this morning and I scored my sleep score was a 90 and my readiness was a 91. And it was like I was celebrating, yes. And it's really crazy when it comes to technology. In the past, before I had this technology, I would wake up and feel like, oh, I just feel run down. I feel tired, but I'm still going to go make it happen that day. What I've learned is now that I have awareness, I can be in tune with my body more. And so technology is actually bringing more in alignment with my body and recognizing patterns in myself. So I'm a big technology guy. I try to embrace it as much, even if I don't understand it. Don't know how it works, but hey, I'm just embracing it. But AJ, thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate this opportunity today. And for those that are watching, stay tuned for additional vendor voices that are coming your way. Take care. Hey, I just want to say a big thank you and a shout out for watching this video and subscribing and investing in yourself by taking the opportunity to get more information. Do us a favor, if you like the video, just tap that like button. But if you love the video, smash that button and tell us in the comments. Remember, you're either learning or you're winning.